They're both great mini LED TVs with some differences you want to keep in mind when you get into a store and watch them side by side, because usually in terms of colors there are not huge differences. I mean, they both show great results, good colors accuracy, pretty decent color saturation, or in fact more than enough. The TCL has a slightly more advantage here with the dynamic color option, but the Hisense does an excellent job here too. And of course, I'm not telling you to do this, I'm just showing you what both TVs are capable of in this area. They have the quantum dot color technology applied to their LCD screens. The amount of brightness they show in each picture mode is more than good, and all this combined allows an excellent color volume and outstanding HDR experience. And in fact, when you want to improve even more HDR results, this is possible on both TVs by using this parameter dynamic tone mapping. The difference here in favor of the TCL is that you can decide to prioritize the level of detail or the amount of brightness, or if you want a balanced result. But in general terms, the results in the Hisense are pretty good too. This means with a good level of detail, colors enhancement and contrast. And it's also important for you to know that both models support Dolby Vision. This technology will be activated only automatically when the TVs detect that the content has native Dolby Vision. And these are the picture modes including Dolby Vision IQ. Results on both models are excellent with good level of detail, which is the most relevant here, being slightly better in the Hisense. And what about the most important of a mini LED TV, which is the performance in dark scenes? Well, first you need to know that both TVs have VA panels. This means vertical alignment pixel configuration, and the backlighting technology is mini LED. The dimming zones on both models vary according to each size. A larger size will have more dimming zones. In this case, I'm comparing the 55 inches versions. Results in this area are pretty good on both TVs. Results vary according to each picture mode, and the most recommended is to set local dimming high. Main difference is that the black colors look slightly deeper in the TCL and it shows less or almost no blooming effect. And the level of detail is better in the Hisense, although in some cases, especially with subtitles, you may perceive some slightly but not annoying blooming effect, with a very decent black colors depth. In fact, for many users, the results of the Hisense are nicer and much more balanced, with a more than enough black colors depth and a much better level of detail with a tolerable blooming effect. But please let me know what you think about these models in this area, which one of these looks better for you? The gray uniformity results are slightly better in the TCL with less dirty screen effect. But when watching content with higher color volume, I think the dirty screen effect is not annoying in any of these models. Image upscaling is okay and the results are pretty similar between them. You simply need to know that no current 4K TV will show you 4K results if the content resolution is low. Don't be fooled when sellers promise you the opposite. Viewing angles are slightly better on the TCL, but not for a huge difference. TCL claims this TV has HVA panel, but it remains being a panel with regular vertical alignment pixel configuration. Results are not as impressive as promised in the website. And the results in the Hisense are not good, but this is normal due to the VA panel it has. In terms of motion handling, they are pretty good, but the results are slightly better in the TCL. The C6K has more options. For example, you can not only decrease jitter manually but also blur. You also can activate LED motion clear, although I usually don't recommend this. and the TCL has the dynamic acceleration parameter. I mean, the results are good in the Hisense, but better in the TCL with less artifacts. And what about gaming performance? Well, the main difference here is that with the TCL you have two HDMI 2.1 ports compatible with the 120Hz and also 144Hz in 4K, along with variable refresh rate technologies, G-Sync and FreeSync Premium Pro, while the Hisense only supports a standard variable refresh rate with only up to 60Hz in 4K or the 120Hz but only up to 1080p. Results in the Hisense are pretty decent for not so demanding gamers. You may perceive some slight ghosting effect in some scenes, but from my point of view it's not something annoying. But it's true, I personally didn't notice ghosting in the TCL, which in that case the C6K will be a better option for more demanding gamers. Let's say the TCL is more expensive due to these technologies, and the Hisense is more recommended for someone who wants to save some money and even so get a decent results in this gaming area and balanced results in general performance. They both have these game bars with different features, such as making an aiming point appear on the screen. You also have the option for zoom if you need it, but the most important will be the picture modes they offered. The TCL's game bar only offers 3 picture modes, which might be enough for many users, while the game bar of the Hisense offers more picture modes. So, general gaming performance in the Hisense is good, but is much better in the TCL with optimized motion handling. Response time is slightly better in the TCL, and input lag times are good on both TVs. Both options are great choices for this gaming area, but remember the TCL here will be better. About the smart area, these are the remotes. The remote of the TCL is slightly smaller and more ergonomic from my point of view. They both have shortcuts for some apps and the button for voice commands, although you can also access to this option by using the hands-free voice control feature on both TVs. The operating system for the TCL is Android TV with Google TV customization layer, while for the Hisense is VIDA OS. Smoothness and optimization is slightly better for the operating system of the Hisense, but VIDA OS is not based on Android, hence you cannot install APK files. But the apps of the VIDA OS has the most popular apps such as Disney+, Apple TV, Crunchyroll, YouTube, HBO Max, among many others. A screencast feature is possible on both TVs, but the multi-visual option is only available in the TCL. They both have these menus for shortcuts. On both you can modify the position of these icons, which is very useful. On both TVs you can add or remove shortcuts, but here the difference in favor of the TCL is that you will be able to have much more options. About their audio systems, the performance is better in the TCL, especially due to its subwoofer, hence you will perceive more bass. But the performance of the Hisense in terms of clarity is good enough. Here's a small test. Now, as a conclusion, the TCL is more balanced but is more expensive. It has better performance in the gaming area, better motion handling in general, and more powerful sound system, and for some users, having Google TV is an advantage. On the other hand, the Hisense is for someone who wants to save some money and even so get an excellent TV with Mini LED backlighting technology. But please let me know in the comment section down below what you think about these models, which one of these will you buy and why. I remind you guys you can support my channel by doing some purchases through the links I put in the description and also in the first comment. Also click the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching and until next time.